Hey now, this is video number 14, East Coast Gullwings. Okay, well, as you see, the body is just dropped down on the rolling chassis. I have a mock-up motor and the actual transmission that's going in the car. It is a C3. I believe this chassis is a 74 or 75 with a manual transmission because the cross member is welded in, so that's the factory 4-speed, and it has the their location thing there for the Z-bar for the clutch. Anyway, yeah, like I said, I dropped the body on the chassis, but it's not mated to the chassis in any way. It's just there on the lift. I guess it looks really good. I'm happy with the way it looks. I can lift it up so you can see what everything else looks like. Give me a second here. It's magic. Okay, this is the C3 chassis that I said before, just a mock-up motor. This is the actual transmission that I'll be using. Came out of a C4 LT1 Corvette, 6-speed. Not the easiest of swaps, but you know, after you call 5 people and look on the internet for 3 days, you figure out what you need. You know, you're getting into Corvette territory, so things get expensive and scary. The issue with the ZF6 transmission, excuse me, is that it has a dual mass flywheel. What is a dual mass flywheel? From what I understand, it's a flywheel with a insert that is held in with springs to take up the vibration from the ZF transmissions, because I guess it's not an issue with the transmission, but they if you get a regular flywheel, which you can use, that gets rid of the dual mass flywheel and the clutch assembly, it leaves you with a little bit of a noise. They say in neutral when you let the clutch out, like the harmonics of the transmission. That's to my understanding, but I have everything for the dual mass flywheel setup and clutch setup. Okay, so as you see, do you see the marks? Where are we? We're right here, and right here. That's where I trimmed the chassis with a 3.5 or 4 inches, whatever it was, to achieve the same wheelbase to fit the body up here. For wheels, I have regular rally wheels. The only other wheel that's a little bit closer than the original Gullwing steel wheels would be I think it's a Pontiac rally wheel. They have a couple more slots in it, but these are just basically for mock-up anyway. The back spacing on these wheels that I bought was 3 3/4. As you can see, this one's in primer, and the ones in back are the color that they came with. What the issue was for me is that the wheelbase on the Corvette is a little bit wide than the body can handle on this Gullwing body. So, and it wasn't much, I just needed a little bit. So I called the manufacturer for the wheels, and they stated to me that they can make me a special order back spacing, and it wasn't a lot more money. It was an 8-week waiting period that I didn't really like. So I guess when the time comes, I will order the correct wheels. But what I did for now, just so I have the correct wheels for mocking up, I cut out the centers with a grinding wheel and a cutoff wheel, you know, real nice, no scoring or nothing. And I moved the back spacing back another, I think it was either a half or 3/4. So it did make a big difference. What I'll probably end up doing is, as you can see, the eyebrows on this are not open like the original car. I made this to add a little rigidity to the body. What I'll probably end up doing is making a little half moon here, just enough so when you turn the wheels, nothing rubs. The back, same thing with the back. I might need just a little bit, but it's not an issue. It won't take away any strength in the body. Pretty much it. I mean, the rear suspension is all factory. I bought new control arms, but the only reason why I put a new one on the driver's side is because the driver's side, taking it out, you know, like I said, this is all Corvette stuff, so the through bolt that goes through the frame, that goes through the bushing, didn't want to come out. So I bought a set of 2 new control arms. They're actually really, I wouldn't say they're inexpensive, but I think it was like $300 for the set, and then, you know, they're brand new. Everything bolts right up to it. The one I put on was a good fit. But I will have to get the yoke for the transmission. I have it. I don't have it. The guy with the transmission still has it. I got to pick other stuff up, the slave cylinder and the clutch pedal and all that, to get that to go. But that's beyond. That's not right now. My next step is to get the firewall that I have outside from the C3 Corvette, and basically it mounts to the 2 holes here, 1 and 2, and same thing on the other side. So I will not be using the floor pans from the C3. I would make it my own floor pans. And you know, I have to, you know how it is, you got to consider everything. I will be making a transmission cross member. Now if I was going to put in a 6-speed from a Camaro, a LT1, not an LT1, an LS1, the T56s, they actually make a cross member that basically bolts right into this car. But you know, I have to be difficult and do things the way I want to, but you know, it'll work out fine. I'll make it work. The only thing with this transmission out of the C4 is you can see the 2 up and up bolts right there. There we go, 1, 2. Because the C4 has that C channel, I guess, if whatever you want to call it, that bolts from the transmission to the rear end. So I have to fabricate some kind of C channel mount, but that's not a big deal. I don't have a problem doing that. If that's the worst thing I have to fabricate to get this transmission to work, I'll be okay. Another thing I need to do is, there is a solenoid on the side of the transmission here. You can see right there, that's got to come off. It's you know, if I told you I knew what it was, I'd be lying to you. But I do know that it doesn't need to be used, and it's basically there for some kind of shifting, so you don't go from fourth to, you know, there you go. I don't even know what it's for, but it's coming out, and I got to put a plug in it. If I can find a plug to fit that thread. So anyway, I guess that's it. That's where we're at. Next time you see a video, hopefully I'll have the firewall in and some floor pans made. I'm hoping that's where I'm at. And then after that, the next stop is mating the body to the frame, and then just goes from there. So, all right, chow mein, happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and See you next time. And don't forget to subscribe and like my videos. Bye.